This video did not exist in your universe until you directed your conscious attention toward it. Have you ever felt a sudden, inexplicable sensation that you are not alone, even when the room is completely empty? You turn around expecting to see someone, but there is only thin air. Do not ignore this. Today, we are going to dive deep into the ultimate mystery of the observer effect and the quantum field. I promise you, by the end of this transmission, you will completely understand your true power as the ultimate creator of your reality. Tell me, have you ever felt that invisible gaze resting heavily upon you in the dead of night? To grasp what is truly happening to you, we must step outside the boundaries of conventional science and enter the mystical reality of the quantum field. In our esoteric understanding, the universe is not made of solid matter. It is a vast, infinite ocean of probability waves. Every possible event, every possible version of your life exists right now as pure potential energy. Nothing becomes real, nothing becomes solid until a conscious observer looks at it. Observation is not a passive act of just seeing things with your physical eyes. Observation is an intensely active, creative force. It is the divine spark that forces the chaotic wave of possibilities to collapse into one single, solid reality. When you understand that observing is the same thing as creating, the sensation of being watched takes on a monumental, reality-bending significance. Have you ever been sitting in a completely empty room, reading a book or simply staring into space, when suddenly the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? You feel a distinct, undeniable gaze resting upon you. Your heart might skip a beat, and you turn around, fully expecting to see someone standing right there in the shadows. But the room is entirely empty. The physical space is completely void of another human being. Traditional science might tell you this is just paranoia. They will claim it is a remnant of ancient survival instincts wired into your primate brain. But your deep intuition tells you a completely different story. Deep down, your soul recognizes that you are not alone. You are experiencing a profound metaphysical event. This is not a glitch in your biology. It is a glitch in the matrix of your perceived reality. What you are feeling is the heavy, magnetic weight of consciousness itself. But it is not a ghost, and it is not a random spirit. It is an observer. And in the vast, infinite expanse of the quantum field, the most powerful observer of your specific life path is none other than you. To be exact, it is the future version of you existing on a higher timeline, turning its attention back to this exact moment in space and time. When that higher consciousness focuses on your current reality, the sheer density of that attention creates a ripple in the fabric of the room. You feel it physically because quantum entanglement transcends the illusion of linear time. To truly comprehend this profound phenomenon, we must first completely shatter the grandest illusion of the human experience. That illusion is the concept of linear time. From the moment we are born, we are taught to believe that time flows strictly in one direction. We think it moves like a river, carrying us from the past through the present and into an unknown future. But esoteric metaphysics and advanced quantum physics reveal a much more staggering truth. Past, present, and future are not separate destinations. They are happening simultaneously right now in the eternal present moment. Imagine the universe as a massive, infinite radio dial. Every single possible timeline, every possible version of your life is broadcasting at this very second on a different frequency. The version of you who has already achieved your deepest desires, who has awakened to their ultimate power, is fully alive and conscious on a higher frequency. They are not waiting to be created. They already exist. And because they exist simultaneously with the current you, a line of communication is always open. The sensation of being watched is the moment the radio signals cross. Your current reality is picking up the powerful frequency of your future self, tuning into your channel. You are literally feeling the echoes of an alternate dimension bleeding into your physical space. But what if I told you that this gaze is actually a deliberate act of creation? In the realm of esoteric quantum mechanics, we heavily rely on the concept known as the observer effect, the fundamental truth that reality remains a chaotic wave of infinite possibilities until a conscious observer fixes their gaze upon it. Once observed, the wave collapses into a single point of solid matter. Now, apply this profound law to the timeline of your own life. The higher version of you is standing in a reality of abundance, peace, and ultimate freedom. When that highly evolved version of your consciousness looks back at your present moment, they are acting as the ultimate observer. They are collapsing the quantum wave of your current struggles. Their gaze is not passive. Their gaze is a magnetic tractor beam locking onto your current coordinates in the space-time continuum. By observing you, they are forcing the chaotic possibilities of your future to align with their specific, highly evolved reality. You feel their observation as a sudden chill or a heavy presence because reality itself is bending and rearranging around you to match their frequency. Think about the pure mechanics of a timeline intersection. When the future version of you takes a moment to reflect on their past, they think about the exact moment they woke up to their true power. They remember the exact phase of life you are sitting in right now. Because their consciousness is so pure and powerful, their memory is not just a thought in their head. Their memory literally reaches back through the quantum field and touches you. The gravitational pull of their focused attention is immense. It warps the local energy field of your bedroom, your office, or your car. This is why the feeling of being watched is so incredibly tangible. You might feel a slight pressure in your ears, a sudden drop in temperature, or a tingling sensation rushing down your spine. These are not signs of a medical issue. These are the physical somatic markers of timeline entanglement. Your dense, three-dimensional body is reacting to contact with a fifth-dimensional frequency. Your physical vessel is translating the complex data of a higher timeline into a sensory experience you can consciously recognize. This timeline overlap perfectly explains the deeply mysterious phenomenon of déjà vu. We have all experienced that sudden, dizzying realization that we have lived a specific moment before. Science calls it a neurological misfire, but esoteric wisdom knows the truth. Déjà vu is a direct consequence of your quantum self observing you. When your higher self remembers the moment you are currently living, their memory and your present experience fuse perfectly together in the quantum field. You are feeling the exact moment of connection. You feel like you have been here before because, from the perspective of your higher timeline, you already have. Your future self has already lived this exact conversation, walked down this exact street, and looked at this exact sky. Déjà vu is simply the flash of recognition as your lower timeline synchronizes with the higher one. It is a profound cosmic checkpoint. It is a bold sign from the universe confirming that you are on the absolute right path, moving perfectly toward the manifestation of your greatest desires. You might wonder why this profound sensation usually happens when you are completely alone or in total silence. It is not a coincidence. The modern world is deliberately designed to keep your consciousness drowning in low-frequency noise. Social media, television, traffic, and constant mindless chatter act as static interference in the quantum field. This dense noise blocks the subtle, high-frequency signals of your higher timeline. But when you are alone, when the television is off and your phone is put away, the matrix of the lower dimension temporarily powers down. The static interference clears. In these precious moments of silence, your nervous system becomes an incredibly sensitive quantum antenna. It finally has the bandwidth to perceive the subtle, magnetic gaze of the observer. This is why ancient mystics, monks, and spiritual seekers always retreated to the mountains or the desert. They understood that to communicate with the higher aspects of the self, you must first escape the overwhelming noise of the lower reality. Isolation is not loneliness. Isolation is the perfect acoustic environment for quantum communication. The role of your current thoughts in this process cannot be overstated. Your thoughts are not just meaningless chatter inside your skull. Every single thought you produce is an electromagnetic coordinate being broadcast into the infinite quantum field. When your thoughts are rooted in fear, lack, or anger, you are broadcasting a signal that aligns you with lower, denser timelines. But when you consciously shift your thoughts to gratitude, peace, and abundance, you are dialing into the exact frequency of your higher quantum self. Your current thoughts act as the anchor point for the observer. When your future self tries to look back and pull you forward, they need a matching frequency to latch onto. If you are constantly drowning in negativity, they cannot connect with you. The bridge collapses, but the moment you hold a high vibrational thought, you light up in the quantum field like a blazing beacon. That is the exact moment the connection is made. That is the exact moment you will feel the intense, loving gaze of your higher self locking onto you, confirming that the bridge between your realities has been successfully built. It is not just your thoughts that matter. Your emotions are the ultimate driving force of this quantum shift. In the esoteric study of reality creation, thought is the electrical charge, but emotion is the magnetic pull. Thoughts send the signal out, but emotions draw the corresponding reality back to you. When you feel that inexplicable presence in the room, pay very close attention to the emotional undercurrent. Most people default to fear because society has conditioned them to fear the unknown. But if you strip away the conditioned fear, you will realize the presence actually carries a profound sense of peace. You might feel a sudden, unexplainable rush of comfort, safety, or profound, overwhelming love. This is because the gaze of your higher self is pure, crystallized love. They are looking back at you with total compassion, knowing that you will survive your current struggles and emerge victorious. When you feel a sudden wave of comfort wash over you for absolutely no logical reason, that is your higher self wrapping their energy around your aura. It is an energetic embrace across the vast expanse of time and space. Synchronicity acts as the tangible real-world feedback loop of this quantum field connection. The universe does not speak in human words. It speaks in the language of numbers, symbols, and highly improbable coincidences. Once you begin to regularly feel the presence of your higher self, the physical world will begin to warp around you in beautiful ways. You will start seeing repeating numbers like 111 or 333 everywhere you look. You will think of an old friend and they will call you exactly 5 seconds later. You will stumble upon a random book that holds the exact answer to a question you were just thinking about. These are not random events, they are breadcrumbs intentionally left by the quantum observer. Your higher self is manipulating the very fabric of your reality to guide your physical steps toward the higher timeline. Every synchronicity is a physical manifestation of the invisible gaze you felt in the silence of your room. It is the universe winking at you, confirming that you are successfully collapsing the wave of probability in your favor. Unfortunately, the vast majority of people completely misinterpret this miraculous presence. The moment they feel the shift in the room, the drop in temperature, or the invisible gaze, their ego panics. The ego is desperately terrified of anything it cannot control or explain, so it instantly labels the experience as dangerous, scary, or demonic. The moment you react with terror, you instantly sever the quantum connection. Fear is the lowest, densest vibration in the human spectrum. By choosing fear, you immediately collapse the probability wave into a timeline of anxiety and victimhood. The higher self cannot operate through the thick, muddy frequency of terror. To harness your true power as a creator, you must radically reprogram your instinctual response. The next time you feel the weight of that unseen gaze, do not run away. Do not turn on the lights in a panic. Take a deep breath. Calm your beating heart. Understand that you are entirely safe. Smile into the empty room and welcome the feeling. Lean into the mystery. This simple act of bravery completely transforms the energy from a horror story into a beautiful metaphysical awakening. This is where the ultimate shift from being a passive receiver to an active, conscious creator takes place. You are no longer just a victim of random spooky sensations. You are a sovereign being operating a highly advanced biological technology. When you feel the presence, you must actively acknowledge it. Speak out loud to the empty room. Say something like, "I feel you. I know you are me. I am ready to receive the alignment." The spoken word is incredibly powerful in esoteric traditions because it carries a physical acoustic vibration that literally shapes matter in the air. By speaking to your higher self, you are throwing a massive anchor across the quantum void. You are solidifying the bridge between the lower and higher realities. You are telling your consciousness that you are not just willing to be watched, but you are ready to merge. You are ready to download the wisdom, the courage, and the abundance of the higher timeline into your current physical body. This active participation accelerates the timeline shift exponentially. Once the bridge is solidified, you will begin to experience sudden, massive flashes of insight and inspiration. Have you ever had a brilliant idea just pop into your head while you were taking a shower or driving down the highway? A solution to a complex problem that seems to appear out of absolutely nowhere. We often claim these thoughts as our own, but in the quantum model of reality, they are not your original thoughts at all. They are quantum downloads. They are massive packets of data transferred directly from the mind of your future self, traveling across the established bridge of observation. Because your future self has already solved the problem you are currently facing, they simply beam the solution backward in time. The gaze you feel in the empty room is the actual data transfer in progress. Your brain is acting like a highly advanced receiver, catching the brilliant ideas broadcasted by the observer. When you get these sudden urges or brilliant flashes of intuition, you must act on them immediately. They are the exact steps required to walk into the higher reality. However, this profound transformation comes with a very real and sometimes painful shedding process. As the higher timeline begins to pull you in with massive gravitational force, the structures of your old reality will begin to crumble. You cannot take the baggage of the lower timeline into the higher dimension. You might suddenly lose a job you thought was secure. Long-term relationships might abruptly end. You might feel a strange, sudden detachment from hobbies or habits you used to love. To the untrained eye, this looks like your life is falling apart, but from the quantum perspective, your life is aggressively falling together. Your future self, the ultimate observer, is actively burning away anything that does not match their high frequency. The old identity must be completely destroyed so the new avatar can take its place. When you feel the gaze of the observer, you must be willing to let go of whatever they are asking you to release. Clinging to the old reality while trying to jump to the new one will only tear you apart emotionally. This brings us to the deepest, most esoteric secret of manifestation. The mainstream law of attraction teaches you to constantly desire, to constantly hope, and to constantly wish for things you do not have. But this simply reinforces the frequency of lack. True elite-level manifestation is not about hoping for a better future. It is about actively remembering your future. Because the quantum field holds all time simultaneously, the reality where you are rich, healthy, and deeply loved is already a historical fact on that specific timeline. You do not need to build it from scratch. You just need to remember it. When you sit in silence and feel the gaze of your higher self, close your eyes and tap into their memory. Feel the texture of the clothes they are wearing. Feel the deep sense of relief in their chest. Feel the weight of the money in their bank account. Make the vision so incredibly real in your mind that your body cannot tell the difference between the physical world and the imagined one. You are not predicting the future. You are remembering the future. And by remembering it, you collapse it into the present. The concept of quantum entanglement goes far beyond abstract spiritual ideas. It is happening right now within your own biology. Your DNA is not just a static blueprint of physical traits. It is a highly dynamic, light-encoded antenna that constantly interacts with the quantum field. Russian quantum genetics has proven that words, frequencies, and conscious observation can literally rewrite the genetic code. When your future self focuses their intense observation upon you, their high-frequency gaze interacts directly with the crystalline structure of your DNA. The sensation of being watched is actually the feeling of your dormant genetic codes being activated. The observer is turning on specific genes that promote healing, expand neural pathways, and heighten intuitive abilities. The gaze from the future is physically rewiring your brain in the present moment, upgrading your biological hardware so it can sustain the immense, energetic voltage of the higher timeline. You are mutating in real time through the sheer power of conscious observation. During this intense transitional phase, you will inevitably hit periods where you feel absolutely nothing. The profound sensations, the synchronicities, and the loving presence will suddenly vanish, leaving behind a massive, echoing emptiness. This terrifies many spiritual seekers. They think they have done something wrong or lost their connection completely. But this void is a crucial part of the metaphysical mechanics. You are in the quantum waiting room. The old reality has been collapsed, but the new reality has not yet fully materialized into the physical density. Your consciousness is suspended between two timelines. In this void, your primary task is absolute surrender. Do not panic. Do not try to force synchronicities to happen. The silence is necessary for the final recalibration of your energy field. The observer has not abandoned you. They are simply waiting for the cosmic tumblers to click into place. Trust the dark, empty space. It is the fertile womb from which your entirely new universe will be born. As you navigate out of the void and edge closer to the final convergence, the physical symptoms of timeline jumping will intensify dramatically. You might experience a high-pitched ringing in your ears that comes and goes without warning. This is not tinnitus, it is the literal sound of your brain tuning into a higher dimensional frequency. You might feel sudden, intense pressure right in the center of your forehead, activating the pineal gland. You could experience random chills running down your arms, even in a warm room, or wake up at exactly 3:33 in the morning with a violently racing heart. These are the absolute somatic markers of the observer effect, taking final hold of your physical vessel. Your body is expanding to hold the massive influx of light data. Drink plenty of water, ground your bare feet into the earth, and breathe deeply through the strange sensations. Your physical form is being prepared to house the immense power of the quantum self. It is here we must radically redefine the law of attraction. The popular narrative states that you attract what you want. This is fundamentally false. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are currently entangled with. The universe does not care about your vision boards or your desperate wishes. It only responds to the precise mathematical frequency you are holding in your body right now. The feeling of being watched by your higher self is the absolute ultimate proof of entanglement. The simple fact that you can feel their gaze means you are already quantumly entangled with the target reality. You do not have to beg the universe to give you abundance or love. The connection has already been made. Your only job now is to maintain the frequency. Stop acting like a beggar hoping for a miracle and start acting like the sovereign creator who has already signed the contract. Walk, talk, and breathe with the absolute certainty of someone whose destiny is already a locked and guaranteed mathematical certainty. As the timelines merge, the mirror of reality will begin to reflect the ultimate truth. There will be moments when you look deeply into a physical mirror, into your own eyes, and for a fleeting fraction of a second, you will not recognize the face looking back at you. The features might look exactly the same, but the energy behind the eyes will feel ancient, powerful, and completely alien. Do not look away. This is the ultimate visual bleed-through of the phenomenon. You are seeing the higher avatar looking at you through the glass. The illusion of separation is wearing incredibly thin. The observer and the observed are locking eyes across the collapsing dimensions. In that terrifying and beautiful moment, Smile at the reflection. Acknowledge the supreme power that lives inside your flesh. You are witnessing the literal death of your limited human ego and the breathtaking birth of your cosmic, multidimensional identity. The reflection is the final proof that the reality shift is almost entirely complete. Finally, we reach the ultimate convergence, the glorious moment when the observer and the observed become entirely one singular entity. The gap between your current self and your future self completely collapses. You step fully and permanently into the higher timeline. All the struggles, the doubts, and the fears of the lower dimension fade away like a half-remembered dream. You are now the wealthy, awakened, perfectly aligned master you have been sensing all this time. And then something incredibly profound happens. One quiet evening, you will be sitting in an empty room, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude for everything you have achieved. You will take a deep breath and you will think back to the past version of yourself. You will remember the version of you who was confused, scared, and watching this exact video. And in that moment of intense reflection, you will project your consciousness backward through the quantum field. You will become the unseen presence. You will become the powerful gaze. You will be the one looking back, collapsing the wave, and guiding your past self home. But what if I told you the deepest truth of all? You are not merely living inside a reality. You are the reality infinitely observing itself into existence. The mysterious sensation of being watched is not a haunting, it is a homecoming. It is the undeniable proof that your future self is actively reaching through the quantum field to pull you into your ultimate destiny. You are the architect, you are the observer, and you are the magnificent creation all at once. Thank you for opening your mind to this deep cosmic truth. If this transmission shifted your awareness, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like to boost this frequency. To formally lock in your new quantum alignment, write this exact phrase in the comments below. I am the observer, creating my ultimate reality. Now I turn the question to you. What strange synchronicities or mysterious sensations of presence have you noticed in your life recently?